Happy Saturday to you. All right, let's just cut to the chase. Your loved one is dying. Could be your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, or whoever, your mom or dad, and they're on their deathbed and they're laying out everything they want you to carry on with after they leave this earth. Okay? And you unknowingly don't even know that you are making a covenant with some generational curses. You say, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to make sure that I follow the Jehovah Witnesses. I'm going to denounce Christianity. I'm going to try to do this and bring the family together. I'm going to do everything you want me to do that you could not do while you were living here on this earth. I promise you. God is my witness. I promise you. Okay. You made a covenant with them and they're on their way out, but you didn't make the covenant with your loved one. You made a covenant with the spirit that has been in your family for generations to come. And some are good blessings, yes. If you make a covenant with a good blessing, say, yes, I'm going to pray, I'm going to seek the Lord, and I'm going to love everybody, stuff like that. But and then you turn around and they say, well, you promised me that you would carry on the family business. And yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do that if it's the will of the Lord. See, you be making these agreements and you don't say, if it's God's will, I will or not. Okay. Or they say, you make sure that that girl don't come into my house, and you make sure that you don't bring a woman or a man of another race in my house, saying that you're going to marry them and have children. And you agree, yes, I will. Not knowing God's will for your life or what. So you just talk yourself out of future blessings by making a covenant with that old spirit that's been in your family for years, and that spirit want to make sure that it can still have life and legal rights to you and your generations to come. See, we didn't know this stuff. We just didn't know it, and we thought we were doing a good deed. But why are you going to place your life in bondage and get out of the will of God when you don't even know God's perfect will for your life, and make an agreement to do stuff for someone when they're dead? It's not them. It's that spirit that was in your family that you are agreeing to carry on with. You didn't say, Lord, is this your will or what? I'm telling you, I don't make covenants with people who are dying, because I know that their spirit is leaving their body, and that spirit is looking for somewhere else to dwell and looking for someone else to carry on that curse within the family. If we go to the Old Testament, we see a lot of that, where fathers were passing out blessings and curses on their deathbed. Just look it up, Google it, deathbed blessings in the Bible. Read about it yourself. Some were good, some weren't. And when we make these promises to our relatives who are dying out, we feel obligated to carry it out. Feel bad if we can't. A young person told me, say their dad promised them when he was dying, said, make sure ain't no blank going on at my funeral and stuff. I don't want my family cutting up. He didn't want this, that, that. So the young man said, okay, I'll do that. Now, when his dad died, his family acted up, and the young man didn't have any control over it. So I told him, you ain't got to worry about that. I mean, you ain't have any control over that. Move on. What can your dad do anyway? He dead. It's not like he's going to come back and say, I told you, you just move on. We can't keep all these promises. We just can't. And they're putting you in a position where you can't be blessed. They're dead. They should have did all of that before they left here. That's the way I see it. Once their life is over, it's over. Unless they put, legal things, yes, you have to take care of that as far as their estate is concerned. But spiritual things, look, I ain't hooking up with that. That's something you brought in our family. I'm not going to carry on with it. Because sometimes we make these covenants and it's ushering in sickness, diseases, and hidden kingdoms that we don't know anything about. We don't know where this stuff originated from or why it originated, but your loved one wants you to keep that curse going in the family. For what? What are they going to get out of it? And what's more, what you going to get out of it? Your life be on hold, and you right, I couldn't carry out the promise. I couldn't do what I promised. You worry about the promise you made to God. And don't lose not a 1 minute of sleep over it. Oh, she cold. No, I'm keeping it real. Because it's the truth. I didn't make any promises to my mom or my dad. I remember when my dad was passing away, and he asked me to pray with him and rub his legs with oil. To me, that was a blessing. That was a gift from God, because for years, I didn't have too much to do with him. But when he was leaving, and I thought I gave my life to God, we made peace. So to me, it was an honor for him to ask me to pray with him and anoint his legs with oil, because he had cancer and his legs were hurting him all the time. And we prayed and asked for mercy and forgiveness. And that was, to me, that was a gift that he left behind. It was a blessing. I didn't make any promises to him. I made sure that he was getting his business right with God. When my mother passed away, I was not around. She died in her sleep. But I remember days prior when she called me, and she left me a blessing and told me what that blessing was, and didn't tell me to make any promises to anyone else. So I know the difference. And y'all stop making these deathbed promises to carry on these generational curses. It's not just about you. You're making an agreement with a spirit, and you don't know if it came from God or what. So don't make those kind of promises. Just don't. You ask for God's will to be done, and show you and the rest of your loved ones how to break these curses that a lot of our ancestors that y'all so foolishly worshiping left behind. You carry on with your life and ask God to bless you, show you his will for your life, so that we can all be happy, grow in grace and the knowledge of the truth, and prosper as our soul prosper. And leave a good legacy behind, and stop with all these deathbed promises. You can't do all that stuff. Have a good one. Love y'all.